Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of His and Hers, the Truth Podcast. My name is Twan. Welcome back, loyal viewers. Welcome new viewers as well. I am going to be doing another fun video today. It's actually from this content creator named Chef Don, and I actually really enjoy his videos. And he's actually has a video today that he collaborated with at Just Pearly Things. So I'm kind of excited to do it. The title of this video is Whose Fault is Modern Dating? Right, awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So, all right, so let's begin.
Everybody, it's your boy, Chef Don. I'm here with this lovely lady. What's your name?
Pearl.
And Pearl, where can they find you?
Just Pearly Things.
On what social media?
Everywhere. I'm TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
And where are we at tonight?
We are in downtown Dallas.
And what are we asking people?
Whose fault is modern dating?
Hey, men. We know it's the women. What you think?
These houses are in the streets.
The streets! I'm here with
Toya, Shannon, Jamia,
Amari, Stretch,
Mena,
Gemini,
Dakari,
Brianna.
Kaja, Tiffany,
BK, Chase,
June, Lucas,
the Purple Pool Pod,
Kevin.
Men and women. So you got these certain perceptions because you've been hurt in the past, and then you go out and putting that hurt onto other people instead of telling yourself, go get therapy.
What has been your experience with dating?
I was groomed from a young age from men that were way too old. I'm talking like, why the hell was I 16 leaving school going to a trap house and getting liquor? That really set the tone for my life to where I was looking for validation from men instead of getting it from my parents, and then that led me into situations where I was very easily abused, taken advantage of, led on the wrong path. I'm talking, I had a dude I thought was my baby daddy for 4 years. Got pregnant at 16.
You thought he was the dad for 4 years?
And he, quote unquote, he pretended, well, he didn't go get the paternity test so he could make me his bitch. When I was 16, I was being groomed into sex work. So who my kid's dad actually is was a trick.
blame these men.
I blame social media.
Do we have an
Okay,
explanation for that?
wow. I don't know if I want to react to that first girl that was commenting there. I mean, the question was, well, whose fault is modern dating? I don't know if she even really answered that question with her whole like revealing of what her life was. All I got to say is she said that she had both her mom and dad. Well, where the F were they? How the hell you become a 16-year-old and freaking be tricking and, having these men, getting you liquor and then getting knocked up at 16? Where the hell was your mom and dad? That's all I got to say on that one.
Let's do what they're supposed to do. Girls wouldn't be mad and we'll be a happy relationship,
They have these unrealistic expectations. So instead of being realistic about relationships, they feed off what's on social media and it affects them in their present and real relationships.
Can you give me a real-life example of that?
For instance, if you weren't talking to that girl, we wouldn't even be here right now. You wouldn't ever say she was cute. We wouldn't ever be here. We'll be happy and we'll be, on the date. I might look, but I won't talk or nothing because my man right here, so I can't even talk to y'all.
What if the guy said that? That he said, oh, I'll look, but my girl's right here.
Okay, you better looking, baby, and you better look like you're not looking. So what?
In 2022, who's to blame for modern dating, men or women?
I see it a lot from both sides. They say women are f***ing up because we're too independent now.
What do you see more that you don't like of?
I would have to say it's men being aggressive.
Interesting.
What about you? Who's to blame?
I'm not going to sit up here and say it's more of one side than another. Both sides have been able to expand. Both sides are more open to different things. Both sides are able to do a lot more. Self-preservation is at an all-time high right now. I don't think it's more on both sides. I think it's both sexes are experiencing a revolution right now.
Do you think most women
Okay,
are
real
wife
quick.
material today?
Okay, so real quick, what is the common theme that you guys are noticing? And I get it, right? I mean, they're obviously interviewing just a handful of women so far, and who knows if that's the representation of the whole populace. But I'm just saying, I think that actually quite is. And notice they're all tattooed up. They all talk very masculine, right? And they appear like fit and friendly to you, especially that last two that was talking, right? You're gonna say that it's both sides that are to blame, but who has gained significant weight in the last, I think, 4 or 5 decades, right? Guys, go check out our video. We put the stats up there, right? But you can go check the stats yourself. I think something like since the 1970s, women have gained like 50 pounds, right? The height hasn't changed. And, the height back in like 1970, I think, was like 5'4", 135 pounds, 130 pounds. Now it's 5'4", 185 pounds or some crazy thing like that. So, like it's pretty obvious here. It's women.
It's definitely not wife material, guys. Don't let her fool you. This is material. Excuse my language. This is city girl material.
How much money does she need the guy to have?
She wants the dude to at least have $1 million. But she doesn't have $1 million herself.
Probably say women.
I'm gonna say it's us,
Okay,
the men.
Why would you say
Okay,
women?
okay, real quick before we get some men's reactions, but this is the other thing I find ridiculous, right? Yeah, so I find it really funny, right? There's so many women that's like that last gal, right? Where they know the women's problems, right? They know that they want way too much money. They know that, they're not qualified as wives, right? They know all these things probably because of either like, watching Kevin Samuels or watching Fresh and Fit, but yet they still do it, So I don't know if it's like they're trying to be like freaking facetious. I don't know if they're trying to just like cap. I don't know, but like they know the issue, but they've been indoctrinated or they either believe, so much that, they're not in wrong. They can't take accountability that they're not going to change, they're not going to change themselves to get the better outcome that they want. And so it's so many women are like that. It's just hilarious.
Got a lot of control. They get to pick a lot. The ball's in their court. They get to make a bunch of decisions on who they talk to, what they want to do, or where they want to go. Dudes, we like fighting an uphill battle. You gotta fight through some hoops. If I'm in a relationship, the ball's in my court. It's up to her if she wants to be in that situation. Again, you get a lot of independent women who don't want to be in that situation. So it's up to them to make a decision for themselves.
Why do you say it's men's fault?
It's man's fault because we gave y'all all the power. So you can't blame the woman. You gotta blame the man.
I've always thought the relationship is 50-50, but you give 100% of what you're doing. So how can you really pinpoint where someone is or isn't at fault?
Men and women aren't aligning with the same values right now. Who do you think's the cause of that?
Media. There are still a lot of good women out there that want that wholesome life, want to stay at home, take care of the kids. So I would say the media is partly to blame on that, or wholly to blame on that.
Women.
Why?
Because they're so indecisive.
So that was kind of a good. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but that was actually kind of a good. They had one guy who blamed the women, then they had another guy that blamed the men, and then they had this other guy that, man, he totally, believed in the indoctrination, this whole 50-50, right? And that it's the media's fault. So let me break it down to you guys how the steps go. Initially, it was men's fault. Okay, so because there's a little bit of truth to this all this whole situation. So initially, it is the men's fault because, like that second gentleman was saying, we gave the power away, right? At one point, women couldn't vote. Women didn't have rights. And once again, guys, I'm not saying that's a good thing, right, or nothing like that, but that was the truth. We didn't give women that power. We didn't give them their freedom yet, right? Well, when we did, because we're the one that gave it away, we created this social construct. We allowed this social construct to take place and have power. We gave women, unfortunately, this certain situation, right, where now their hypergamous nature, obviously, this feminism, like, high body count doesn't matter, body positivity. And let's be honest, guys, we're not coming back. It's not like tomorrow or anytime soon we're going to vote. And, now especially women can vote too. It's not like any of us are going to vote for like taking that rights away from women now. So, yes, initially it was the man's fault for allowing this gate to open. But the problem is, and this is the whole content of the RP community, right? Exposing this truth. The women have the freedom now. They have the power now. They don't want the responsibility and the accountability, though. So the correct answer in this current situation, that is 100% the women's fault. Yes, the men allowed it to happen, but it's 100% the woman's fault at this current moment. And then in terms of the guy saying 50-50, that fool has been so indoctrinated. He's a perfect reason why this truth, even the RP content needs to continue to reach every man possible. Because, he's talking about how there's still some good women out there. Oh, no. He doesn't understand the stats. He needs to go look at the reality of what the modern westernized women. Now, if he's talking about the whole world. Maybe you can go find somebody in Colombia, somebody in Asia, or some third world country, whatever. Maybe that's the case. But if he's talking about just a Western society, no, the chances of that is very low.
Do you think women tend to go for what they want?
Yes.
Really?
They do go for what they want.
Women go for what they want. Why do they say they like nice guys but continuously go after
All these other guys are treating them right. They want to know why that one person is not treating them like all these other guys. So that's what makes them go to that one guy.
Do you think most women are wife material?
Most? No. Some, yes.
What makes a girl wife material?
I guess it depends on the person. Some people are like okay with some stuff, some people aren't. So, well, I guess they look like if you can cook, clean, take care of them, and all that shit, it's like your wife material.
What would you say, 50-50?
Yeah.
Personally, I would say that maybe men have messed it up. Just very different than obviously back in the past from like our parents or parents' generation. So I feel like we f up more than women do.
How do men f up?
How do men f up? I mean, like, I guess it's all about like, I don't even know, yeah.
Do you think the majority of men can cheat?
No, I'd say the majority of them can't.
Who cheats more, men or women?
Honestly, it's the relationship. If the people aren't happy in the relationship, it's more of an opportunity for them to cheat. So whether it be men or female, like, whoever is like, I guess, not holding their end of the stick.
We all just have with each other.
Okay, let's pause real quick. Sorry, guys. These clips are happening so fast. I got to try to absorb all these different talking points. But one thing I want to say is, gosh, like this generation has been so indoctrinated, right? It's like they literally just regurgitate what the Matrix tells them to say. So it's like that last dude, he's just talking about like how it's the men's fault. But then when Pearl puts him on the spot, like, why? Like, he can't come up with his own reason, right? He can't even think for himself and come up with a reason why it's the man's fault. And then the gal, like, she asked, who was, at fault. And she said the woman, probably once again, because watching Kevin Samuels or, consuming some RP community. But you notice that when it came down to like, why, like what would make her a better wife material if she was going to be qualified for a wife, she didn't want to, say any uncomfortable truth. She's like, well, you cook and clean, but every person's different, right? It always starts out with that. It's like, well, I'm just basing it upon my experience or, everyone's a little bit different. No, in general, most people, 99.9%, 9 out of 10, whatever you want to say it, these are the things that most people want, the values that most people want. So look at her, she's overweight, right? Lose some weight. Right, that's you didn't want to point that out, right? Oh, but I'm thick, I'm beautiful, I'm body positivity, right? And then of course the first guy, he was talking about how obviously it's women's fault, but once again, when they asked him like why, it's just like we're all so scared to point out the uncomfortable truths. It's just ridiculous.
Men want to date women that are just having sex with everybody?
Like me, you, and her.
Maybe I like that, but do you think a guy would like it if his wife was doing that with other people?
I mean, with him, yes.
With him, yes.
Yeah, with him, yes.
What percent of women do you think are wife material in 2022? And what percent of men do you think are husband material?
All of them.
All men are husband material?
You gotta train your man how you want him. So right now, he might not be husband material, but by the time I get done with him, he gonna be husband material.
Okay, if you're gonna train him to be a husband, what would you do?
I think you pull a lot of girls. That's your problem. You pull a lot of girls. Like, look at hers. He can't stop looking at you. Oh, well, damn. She's looking at me then.
Do you think that's fair to go into a relationship trying to change someone?
No.
But you kind of are if you're trying to make them into something like a husband or a wife.
No, that's not changing nobody. If he know I don't like roses, don't bring me roses every day. Bring me what I like that.
How would you feel if your fiance hooked up with another woman?
I mean, if I knew about it, I ain't tripping.
You're not tripping?
No, if I know about, if I'm there, then it's cool.
Hey, this is a thorough woman right here, you heard? So like, he can bring women home, but you can't bring men home.
Oh, keep going. I'm sorry.
Right?
Let's
no,
finish.
he ain't gay.
What about you?
I mean, I'm bisexual.
Hey, man. You need to get you on a herd. I've heard this
Okay,
saying,
let's react to that last lady. That last lady was so a walking contradiction, right? Like, she said that most men are husband material. But then in the same breath, she's saying that she needs to, the reason being is she needs to train them properly. No man that a woman has to train to be a husband is going to respect that man. Okay, there's no way that if a man is not going to be holding up some type of frame and obviously bring enough value that you respect, that he's just going to be willing to change for you. Most women ain't going to respect that. But then, like I said, it's you can see where she's at, right? Once again, overweight, overly sexualizing herself with the freaking revealing clothing, the tattoos, right? The boss attitude, the boss babe, like, oh, I'm going to tell my man what to do and, change him. That's not going to be attractive. And if you think that that's going to make a man attractive, even a high value, an average value or low value man attracted to you, 100% not. And then, like I said, once again, it's an oxymoron because you won't be attracted to that man. So yeah, that was crazy.
To get over one man is to.
Is it to get under another?
So have you done that? That's a yes.
Yes.
How many times? How many different dudes?
Like 3.
How long ago did you get divorced?
March.
How long before you broke up with him did you know you were going to break up with him?
I would say probably 6 months into our 2-year
Do
relationship.
you think that men are clear about what they want?
No.
Are they
Real quick.
confusing?
Yes.
So
Why?
one thing I want to point out, guys, what did I tell you, right? This is something that I'm going to continue pushing out there and hopefully just continue exposing and opening the eyes out there, is that, look, at the Asian culture is being infested. It's being indoctrinated with this feminism lie as well. Look at that last Asian girl, tatted up, overweight. That's not your quote unquote stereotypical Asian female. Right? That ideology of, sleeping with another man to get away from another man, right? How do you get, best way to get off a man is going to sleep with another man. And she said she did that 3 times. She divorced her husband, right? Well, what do we talk about? Or divorced her, left her man, right? 80% of women, leave their man. Our Asian culture is not safe. This feminism lie, if you think it's going to stop with the West, right? How many times will we talk about on this channel? There's a whole generation of women in Asia right now they call leftover women, right? Because they focus on their career. They didn't focus on relationships, a husband and kids. Cool. So yeah, let's continue here.
Because they don't know how to be direct.
What do you think? Whose fault is dating?
I would say men.
Why?
Social media. They compare like girls nowadays to Instagram models.
Are modern women wifeable?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
What's wrong with comparing you to Instagram models if there's no problem with the current, woman?
There's nothing wrong with the current woman. I'm just saying that now there's just a lot of expectations. Like relationships don't last as long because people are like, oh, I want the Instagram model with the big booty or whatever.
Definitely has to be women for sure.
What about you? Who's to blame?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna go with women.
Are modern women wifey material?
There's definitely some women that are wifey material.
I'm gonna react to that last group of ladies. Oh man, that's your stereotypical modern women right there. And guys, it has nothing to do with ethnicity because it's not just black women that are always constantly saying that. If you look at all the different guests on all these shows, they're spouting the same thing, or even people that get interviewed on the streets are saying the same thing, and it's they're blaming men. These women is because they're referring to the top percentage of men that don't wife them, because once again it comes back to they're not wife material, right? They're modern women that think they can be boss babes. They think that their value is money, finance, status, right? Being independent, right? All those key buzzwords that they like to use to think that they're obviously high value women now because they do that type of stuff. And then, of course, like I said, they blame these men because these men are just using them for sex because, no crap. You're just sex material. You're just sex valued, right? No one's going to wife a chick with multiple, 20, 30 bodies or even higher than, right? The magic number was 5. So you got higher than 5 and you're acting that certain way, no man's going to wife you. So what do you expect?
But overall, as a statue,
No.
I would say yeah. I would say yeah. Definitely a lot of girls that be messing around. Once in a while, you find a good girl.
So modern women are or are not? You said once in a while.
I'll answer. I'm to go with no.
Hey, you heard it here first. Modern women aren't wifey material. What do you think about that?
I think they are wifey material. Most guys can't find them, and it's a sad sourcing issue. If they just chose better places or just weren't on the internet, I think that they would find better girls. The first question, it's definitely the guy's fault that everything's messed up. It's not the women's fault at all. We're the ones that roll the world, and we're the ones that, push everything and make everything what it is. We're the leaders of the world. So if everything's messed up, it's not the women's fault. It's all our fault.
So you think men should take accountability because we're the leaders?
Yes, 1,000%. We need to take full accountability for how everything is right now.
Got you. Fair enough.
What do you guys look for in a guy? How tall does he have to be?
I say over 6 feet.
So 5'11", no?
I want to react to the guy that was talking about how, once again, right, it's the men's fault because we're the leaders and we're, obviously the ones that dictate the policies. I 100% agree with him on that fact. But let's talk about the reality, the truth. Do you think he or the rest of us, I'm a guy, do you think we're going to take back this power that we gave away? You think we're going to take away the rights that we gave women? Unless and obviously, are we going to fight and die for it? If you guys think that that is even a possibility, then you're, just delusional yourself. We talk about how women are delusional on this channel all the time, but as a guy, if you're blaming it on the men for the current dating status and the dating market because you're saying that we had the power to change it, I think you're sorely mistaken that we're going to go back to the good old days. We're never, ever going to go back to those days where, men controlled everything and women didn't have the right to vote and all this other stuff. It ain't going to happen, guys. So we just got to live in reality with the fact that this is the current market. And until women take accountability and until women take responsibility and understand the truth and understand what their values are within that truth and what they're supposed to be bringing to the table, we're not going to correct the situation.
Dogs, we just woof, with dogs.
You think men are just cheating all the time?
I think, no, man, we do have feelings because we feel some type of way whenever we find out like somebody cheated. We feel some type of way.
Oh, so you're saying if the men find out about cheating, they're more hurt than if the women find out?
For sure.
So then why do you say that men are the ones to blame for cheating? If women are more likely to cheat.
Because I think men instigate it.
Would you say modern women are wifeable?
I'm a millennial, but Generation Z, marriage, nah, ain't happening.
Okay, guys, that was the end of the video. And once again, this RP content is so important. There's still so many dudes out there like that last guy that just doesn't understand the reality, right? He's blaming men, but then at the same time, he understands that women are not wife material. Right? He talks about how men are hurt more than for cheating is because 100% correct. The truth has been masked so much by the Matrix that we don't realize the values that are supposed to be brought to the table anymore. Right? So why do men get hurt more when a woman cheats? Because that was their value that they're supposed to bring to the table. That's one of their primary values, if not the primary value that they're supposed to bring to the table. Right? So it's like, you committed all your values as a man, right? Whether you know it or not, especially millennials and Gen Z, but you commit your finances, your fame and everything to this woman. And then she gives up that value that you had purchased, right? You exchanged for her to someone else. Damn right, you're going to be hurt. Damn right, we're going to be hurt more than her because obviously that was her primary value that she was supposed to bring to us. And then in terms of, he was saying about how men cheat and that's why we're at fault. Once again, he doesn't understand the reality. It's really only the top percentage of men that can do that, right? We all know that the majority of men, 80, 90% of men aren't even looked at by women or let alone even have that opportunity, the value to command that. being able to. Not to say that we don't want to. I'm just saying the reality is we can't. The majority of men can't, right? And then so it's not the same. And so, he's been indoctrinated to believe that men or women are the same. And when men cheat, it's the same. But, why is it that we get hurt more? Well, duh, because once again, their value is supposed to be that, not ours. Okay. So guys, I thought this was going to be a funny video to react to, but truthfully, actually, once again, it exposed the more reality of what the current situation is. And so it actually kind of became actually a very good video to seriously react to, because, whether they chose these people that they interviewed very selectively, or, I personally think this is more of the reality of what the current market is. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, they're always interviewing these people that like look a certain way or act a certain way. And what the majority of people, because once again, the Matrix does such a good job of masking this. They don't understand that this is the majority of people out there and how they think and how they act, how they're dressing, how they're moving. And so that's the reason why people are still not woken, right? So guys, keep spreading the truth, keep debunking the lies, keep, obviously waking people up, to the truth. And I think that's where we're going to have the better outcome. All right. Talk to you guys later. Join us as we give you guys a glimpse into our lives, give you guys advice, hopefully give you guys entertainment value as well too, and provide you guys better outcomes.
Yes.